All right, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about Sareena as a cameo. I've seen too many posts talking about Sareena is too powerful. Nerf Sareena, she's too good. Sareena this, Sareena that. And Sareena is definitely a solid cameo when it comes to getting damage, but she's not as good as a lot of you guys are thinking. There's a lot of ways around her projectile. That's what people mostly have a problem with. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to deal with Sareena and why she's not as good as you might think. And a lot of this information is available if you guys just do the tutorial. So I'll be posting that video next week about the tutorial, and I'll kind of condense it down because it does take about 3 hours to do that full tutorial. But anyways, let's get into it and let's talk about Sareena. Okay, first things first, let's talk about Sareena and her movesets. I'm gonna show you all 4 of her cameo moves, exactly what they do, why people think they're so strong, and don't get me wrong, they're pretty good when you use them correctly, but why people think they're so strong and how to deal with them so you don't get spammed with that projectile I know you guys all hate. But first, let's look at Jataka's Curse. That's her standard RB, and that is unblockable. So that does drain the opponent of their bar. As you can see in the bottom right corner, he no longer has any bar. All right, the next move we have from Sareena is called Old Moon. It's a projectile, and it also recharges very fast. So if you see this, boom, it's already back. We can throw it again. This isn't really what people are having problems with though, but it's a good projectile and it's a little underused, I think. The third move we have by Sareena is called Demonic Dance, and it's actually, I believe, a little underutilized. I rarely see anyone use this move. They pretty much just do the boomerang projectile, but this is Demonic Dance, and as you can see, she comes and does a little flying kick on screen. It's pretty solid. It's pretty underrated in my opinion. And lastly, we have the Kai Blades. Yes, the boomerang projectile, the infamous boomerang projectile that's getting everyone upset. Everyone's calling for it to be nerfed. In actuality, it's really not as good as you all might think. It's definitely good for damage once you get a hit confirmed, right? But if you're playing good footsies and you're not getting hit confirmed, a lot of times, you know, you're not going to take that 40% damage that you've been getting hit with by literally any character. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do in order to not get hit by that. Okay, so the Kai Blades aren't bad. They're not bad at all, right? You know, say you hit someone full screen or even, you know, mid screen, you hit them with a projectile, you know, you can follow it up with a full combo, really. If you hit them close with it, you can really do some damage, right? You know, 43%, and I didn't even finish the combo. Like, you can get some insane damage. I'm not going to deny that. But the way I've been seeing people use the Kai Blades is what's incorrect, right? Somebody will come and let me put a reptile to block. Some people will walk up to you, boom, and on block, just throw that out. And you think, oh man, I'm jailed. I have to accept this. That's what a lot of people do. They just block that. Some people are smart, you know, they'll go under and they'll try to poke out of it, right? Which is another viable answer. But there's something that you can do even better that will give you the advantage if people just want to throw this out on block. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at the frames on this Sareena cameo move to see exactly why people are thinking that it's OP, but then I'll show you guys exactly how to avoid being in a situation where the opponent is so plus and can continue that pressure. Okay, so I have Liu Kang set to do that forward 4 into that Sareena cameo, and let's take a look at the frames to see exactly how plus he's gonna be, okay? Right, boom, I just sat there and blocked all that. He's plus 29. That is horrible. So let's see exactly how many frames plus will be if I crouch block. Plus 28, so he's dang near just as plus if I crouch block it as well. Okay, so that's a horrible option to do. Don't just sit there and take that pressure. You don't want to do that, okay? Because he'll be extremely plus, and then boom, he's just gonna do it right again, back to back to back to back to back, and you could possibly be chipped out by that. So that's not a good option. Let's take a look at some of the things that you can do to stop this pressure. It's very simple, easily reactable. Even if you're just now hopping into Mortal Kombat, you should be able to react to this, okay? So let's take a look at that. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do, and a lot of people figured this out already, but you're gonna wanna unblock at a certain point during that string, right? If you don't have the reactions to react immediately, you're gonna wanna unblock at a certain point, and you're gonna either punish the opponent with a poke or a sweep, okay? So that's your first option. So let's take a look at that. Boom. He's been hit out of it. Boom. You just poke him straight out of it. So that's one option. Let's take a look at the sweep. Right? So you see I just swept, but I got hit with that back last boomerang. Even though I got hit, you know, the frame advantage for him is still gone. So it still works, but you'll still take a little bit of damage. So you could poke, you could sweep. Those are two options if you have slower reactions. But the best option is to poke immediately, right? So let's take a look at that as soon as you see that Sareena cameo. Let's take a look. So if you're just now playing the game, you might not know that if you hit a cameo, the cameo will leave the screen. So as soon as you see Sareena coming out, and if they get really predictable, which a lot of people who play Sareena are, you'll know to just immediately poke after they finish that string. And if they start to mix it up and punish you with some other things, then you'll have to adjust your game plan. But a lot of times people are just throwing this out just to throw it out, just for the hell of it. So let's take a look at what happens when you poke Sareena straight out of the move. Boom. Boom. Right? She got one off. She got one off. So even if you have great reactions, she might get one off. But at the same time, that's better than those three. Boom. Like, there's so many options. That's the number one choice, is to poke her immediately. See, she didn't get any projectile off that time. No projectile off, right? So a lot of people who are just randomly mashing might actually do them a favor here in this situation. So that's your number one option. But as you guys may not know as well, a lot of cameos also have armor. So there's an even better option to throw out, because this can give you a knockdown, but it'll also give you the frame advantage if someone gets too predictable throwing this out. And you can even do it with the Sareena cameo. And it was one of the moves we saw before. So let's take a look. So as I mentioned, a lot of cameos have armor on some of their moves, right? And if we take a look at the move list for Sareena, we have Demonic Dance. And even though it's not here in the notes, I guess you're just gonna have to figure out for yourself. I know I did just by kind of playing with her, that Demonic Dance has armor on it. So if someone's throwing that out just on block, you can hurry up and throw Demonic Dance out and knock them straight out of the animation. And now you have the frame advantage. So let's take a look. See that? We got a hard knockdown. We didn't take, well, we took the damage from the first projectile, but we knocked her out of the cameo so she couldn't continue. He didn't stay plus with throwing that out for no reason. We have the knockdown, and on top of that, now we have the frame advantage, and we can start to push in to start delivering some pressure. And a lot of cameo characters have these armored moves. Let's take a look at a different character with kind of the same exact situation with the Sareena cameo, and we'll kind of armor straight through it. Let's take a look. So now I have the Sub-Zero cameo, and he has an armored move as well, which is the cold shoulder, right? So if this move gets thrown out, I can armor straight through it. It's not quite as fast as Sareena's, so you may get hit with a projectile on the back end, but at the end of the day, it still gets the job done. You get the knockdown, and he's no longer able to pressure. And he might think twice before trying that again. So let's take a look. So as you can see, I pretty consistently get hit with that second one on the way back, but look at Liu Kang. He's almost full screen now. He's been knocked down. We have the frame advantage still anyways, and we basically reset neutral. So he'll probably think twice before just randomly throwing that out. Figure out which cameo character you want to use. Figure out which ones have armored moves that can armor through that nonsense. And it's going to come in handy for a lot of other situations as well when you're playing this game. Strings that have gaps in them, strings that aren't real pressure, you'll find out by going into practice mode and looking at the frames on this. And you'll know when to use these moves. So in short, the Sareena cameo, it really isn't as powerful as people are thinking it is, right? It gives you insane damage, and I love it for that. I personally use the Sareena cameo a lot of times, depending on what character I'm playing. So it does give you that damage, but again, it needs to be hit confirmed for you to get that damage. Otherwise, they're being pretty risky just throwing that out and on block. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this in the future. My Scorpion guide, how to play Scorpion for dummies, is up, so go check that out. I'll be making one for Liu Kang. That'll be posted next week, and I'll see you next time.